Hey there, this is Matt with PokerDataMining.net, and in this video I'm going to be walking you through hhmailer.com, a new hand history service provider. In this video I'm going to actually walk you through my initial impressions of the site, their services, and last I'll finish with my thoughts on whether or not you should buy from them. So we'll go ahead and get started here. We're on the home page of hhmailer.com. Right off the bat, you can see what sites they cover, which includes Pokerstars, the iPoker network, which includes Titan, William Hill, and Bet365, amongst other sites, PartyPoker.com and 888.com. Below that, you can see how they package their hand histories, which includes bulk, monthly subscription, and they're also one of the few sites that offer tournaments and sit-and-go hand histories. Now, this is where things start to get a little sketchy. So I'm going to go ahead and start actually with the tournament and sit-and-go hand histories. You'll notice here that when I click on the link, it actually redirects me to a different page, hhtourney.com. Not a huge problem, but most of my experiences with a site redirecting me to another site without telling me where I'm going first has never really ended well. I've always ended up in a place that I didn't really want to be. So that doesn't give me a great first impression. I'm right off the bat, I'm a little weary about where I am and why I'm not on hhmailer.com anymore. That said, if you take a look through here, you'll notice that you can buy hands for sit-and-go and MTTs. I didn't actually cover this site, so I couldn't tell you whether or not the service is worth trying. All I can tell you is just how I feel about being redirected to a site when I wasn't planning on leaving hhmailer.com. So that didn't really give me a good first impression. Next is that hhmailer, from what I understand, is a Russian company, which is fine. The problem is that they haven't really segregated their content well, so you'll see throughout their site that there is a lot of Russian mixed in with English. Not a big deal other than the fact that I feel that it's a little less than professional. It doesn't, again, it's just not the greatest first impression when you visit their site to buy something from them. And last, they don't have an about page. So when I say that I'm assuming they're Russian or they're a Russian company, that's what it is, an assumption. They don't have an about page telling me anything about them, about their company, where they're located, or anything along those lines. The best that we have is an email and a Skype. So that's kind of my first impressions of them when I visit the site, and it's just kind of a warning when you visit the site and you see that yourself. So okay, so we'll go ahead and move on next to their services, which include the bulk hand histories and the subscription-based hand histories. I'll go ahead and walk you through both of those start to finish. They're actually really simple and actually really quick. So this is for the subscription-based model. As you can see here, you just go ahead and choose the network that you want hand histories for, the games the game that you want hand histories for, so in my case, no limit hold'em, your stakes, the number of players, tables, and the length of the subscription. Now, the subscription, you'll actually save money buying more in advance. So if you buy 2 months in advance, you'll actually save $1 a month, so it'll actually be $38. And for 3 months, you'll actually save $2 a month, or $54 for 3 months. And then for 6 months, you'll actually save $4 a month for a savings of $24. So not bad. Something to keep in mind is that the stakes will affect the pricing. So if you go up to NL1 or 100 NL, you notice that it's $168. Or no, excuse me. 100 NL is $120. 200 NL is $120. 400 NL is $144. So it does go up the higher up in stakes that you go. However, you still do save money as well. So $30 for 1 month, you save, looks like about $3, so about $1.50 a month. And it looks like we save about $9 or about $3 a month. So again, it doubles. So in that case, it looks like we'll be saving $6 a month, so about $36. And yeah, that's about right. So you still save money the more you buy in advance. And then once you've chosen, the game and your stakes and the hand histories that you want, go ahead and proceed to checkout. Choose your payment method, which in this case is WebMoney, MoneyBookers, PayPal. I'm not sure what this is, but I'm sure Russian players will know what it is. Enter in your email where you want your hand sent and the date that you want your subscription to start, and then click buy. So pretty simple. It's probably one of the easiest methods or systems for buying hand histories in my experience. Everyone else is a little more flashy. This is just really straightforward. Very simple. Probably be the best way to put it. So next we'll go ahead and look at the bulk options. It's actually the exact same thing. So we'll go ahead here and just choose network, games, stakes, number of players, tables, and number of hands that we want. This is I have mixed feelings about this. This is a little slider here that lets you adjust how many hands that you want to buy. Everything's done in increments of 50,000 hands. So the fewest number of hands you can buy is 50,000, and then the increments are in 50,000. I don't really care for the slider because it's very touchy. It's very difficult to, if I want 100,000 hands, it's very difficult to get on 100,000 hands. I couldn't get it on, I think, 5 million hands earlier. I just couldn't get it to work for me. It's always a little less or a little bit more. So I kind of wish they would make this here a place where you can manually enter in your number. It looks like you can cycle through it, but you just can't delete anything or enter in your number. The other thing I wish they would do, if they wouldn't actually integrate this, is I have a little roller on my mouse that lets me click up and down the page one click at a time, and if the roller would allow me to do that, that would also work. So they just need to fix this or make this slider a little less touchy. On the bright side, or I guess you can call it a bright side, their bulk hand histories are extremely cheap compared to other service providers. The one example I'd like to show you is for hhsmithy.com. To buy 500,000 hands from HHMailer would cost you about $11. That's what it cost me earlier, at least. See, as you can see here, this is very touchy. I'm trying to get it right on 500,000 and I can't. Okay, well, you're gonna have to trust me. That's 500, or it's $11 because it's what I bought earlier. I just can't seem to get it right on 500,000. In any event, 500,000 hands, I've already got this set up, is $22.50, so literally double the price. If you go to 1 million hands, $36, regular is $45 at HH Smithy, and 1 million hands here is $21. So we're saving $15 off the savings price and $24 off the regular price. 2 million hands is the next interval for HH Smithy. See if I can actually get 2 million hands. $40. And hhsmithy.com, it's $72, regularly $90. So you're saving $50 off the regular price and $32 off their discounted price. 5 million hands, you're going to see a significant savings. Again, I don't know if I can get it on 5 million hands. We're just going to do 5 million, 50,000. And for 5 million hands at hhsmithy.com is $146.25, nearly 3 times the price, or $225, which is almost 4 times, which is actually about 4 times the price. So hhmailer.com is definitely cheaper. I've actually checked the NL100 or 100 NL, excuse me. It's about the same thing. We'll look at just a couple of them here real quick so I can show you. 1 million hands here. I'm going to go ahead and look at 1 million hands here at HH Smithy. And the price isn't as significant as 50NL, but there is a good difference. Definitely is savings there. So you can see here, million hands, $40, regular $50. We're saving $9, almost $20 regular. 5 million hands. 5 million hands, $80 at HH Mailer. 5 million hands at HH Smithy, $162.50, $250 regular. So we're actually saving over 3 times as much off the regular price at HH Smithy, and we're actually saving half at their discounted price. So, and as you can see here, the HH Smithies promise their price guarantee. They offer that on Poker Table Ratings, Hand HQ, and HH Dealer. So, not really sure you're going to be able to take that to them or not, but it might be worth a shot. So, again, once you've chosen the hand histories that you need, we're just going to go ahead and proceed to checkout. And it's going to be the same process. You're going to choose your payment option, your payment method, and which email you'd like your hands sent to, and then click buy. I've actually received my hands. My hands took a little bit longer than the quoted time on the website. I received my hands, I believe, roughly 3 hours later. They sent me an email explaining that I think they were in the process of mining new hands, if I understood them correctly. So in my case, it took a little bit longer, but I did receive them. This is the email I got, again, along with my initial impression of their website. I'm not really thrilled receiving an email in Russian, and I had to actually guess where my download link was. So I'm not really. It's not the greatest impression. It's, you know, from a customer standpoint, you know, I don't know what to do. So then you spend more time emailing them, going back and forth with them, really trying to figure it out. Or you can guess and just click on links, which is what I did. And on the bright side of that, though, I did receive my hands. My hands are fine, or, you know, from what I checked, they're fine. They're formatted a little different than other hands, but as long as they work, it doesn't really matter. I think I've actually accidentally just closed my window, so give me a second to pull this back over. Go ahead and pull that back up. So anyway, I did have my hands, and they're fine, just formatted a little different, no big deal. And last, I want to go ahead and show you their free packages page. On this page, you'll find a list of hand histories that you can download for free. It's roughly about 2 to 5,000 hands in each file. So you can actually check out their service that way. You can see here they got 10NL, 100NL, pot limit Omaha. I used to play the $15 turbo set and goes on Stars, so this is pretty cool that they got these here to try out. There's a lot of regs in those games, so definitely worth buying or worth downloading and checking out. And they have some for Pacific and Party Poker and iPoker. So pretty cool, free hand histories, so check them out. And that's about it for hhmailer.com. So last, I just wanted to kind of leave you with my final thoughts on the site. I think that given the price, they might be worth kind of looking into. But that said, I'd worry more about the safety of my money, whether or not I'm actually getting my product, and the overall professionalism of the site. That I think all of that combined would probably lead me to going somewhere else, despite the savings. Not only that, but you can probably show other hand history service providers the money that you'd be saving going to HH Mailer, and it's possible they would give you a discount. So I think all of that in mind, all of that said, I would probably steer clear of hhmailer.com and go to Poker Table Ratings or HH Smithy instead. I would just feel more comfortable doing business with them than a business that doesn't have all of their stuff lined up just right, that doesn't have, you know, everything kind of in order, working right, and displaying correctly. You know, it's little things like this that's really easy to fix that sets off just a really bad message or bad, you know, first impression. So for those reasons, I would go ahead and probably do business elsewhere. That's it from me. Again, my name's Matt, and this video was for PokerDataMining.net. Thanks for watching.